In this video, you may learn some things about the Santa Fe shooting that have not been reported. You may also learn some things that are not being discussed regarding proposed solutions to end school violence. For nearly 3 decades, Donna Clark Love has provided a wide range of services to equip schools, organizations, and companies in improving culture and building a more inclusive environment. Both in the U.S. and abroad, Donna has worked in more than 1,000 schools to better identify, prevent, and stop bullying. In this video, she provides her insight on what's been going on in our schools today, and she'll propose a solution to end school violence.
School shootings, bullying, intimidation, and harassment, all forms of school violence. What are we going to do about this scourge? Our nation is hurting. I'm hurting. This school shooting at Santa Fe High School is in my own backyard. I am going to be talking about some proposed solutions in this video. I think you're going to want to hear what I have to say, because what has been proposed so far, I think that there are some pages missing. During the last 4 days, I have heard many proposals for ending school violence. We have had elected officials as well as many politicians and law enforcement and other professionals propose the following security measures. I do not want to disparage any of these efforts. All of these proposed solutions are about security measures, things that we will need to do after the train has already left the station. In fact, Santa Fe High School had many of these security measures already in place. So I want you to think about something. Why don't we do some things before the train leaves the station, before a student has a gun in his hand? What do we need to be doing in the schools and in our community? Please listen to the following prevention measures. Research has consistently shown that positive school climate is a predictor for school safety. When schools have trusting relationships between teachers and students, when there are respectful relationships between peers, when kids know where and who to go to for help, and when kids speak up for their peers when they know they're in trouble, these are all protective factors that need to be in every school to end school violence. Did you know that in 1999, there was a key study and comprehensive research done on previous school shooters? The investigation happened with the Department of Education and the United States Secret Service. They came together to study the phenomenon of school violence, looking for common denominators with our 37 school shooters. The research was so comprehensive that they even researched what was the school shooter thinking and planning before the attack. They also researched the mental health factors and the observable behaviors happening in the school. No other research has been as comprehensive. So what can we learn as a society, as schools, as a community on how to address school shooters? Here are the key findings. Prior to the attack, the school shooter told at least one person what he was planning to do. In one of the cases of our school shooters, the day before the shooting, he told 2 of his buddies what he was going to do and that he wanted them to be safe, so he told them not to go to the lobby in front of the school. On the day of the shooting, these 2 buddies told 22 other kids. Before the attack happened, these kids gathered in the galley, the top level of the lobby, so they could look down and watch the school shooting. One student even brought his camera. The second finding was that the majority of our school shooters engaged in some red flag behavior before the actual attack. The third finding was that our school shooters had difficulty coping with loss, transition, and crises. In fact, our Parkland school shooter in Florida, his mother passed away when he was 5 years old. His foster mother passed away 3 months before the attack. And this particular finding encourages us to look at mental health issues of our school shooters. And the fourth finding, the majority, in fact nearly all of them, experienced bullying, intimidation, and harassment during their school years. No amount of bullying behavior gives a student the right to commit a horrendous act of violence. What can we learn from these key findings? A call to action. Action to improve school culture and to build a sense of community. The following prevention measures are measures proposed that explicitly address the key findings of the U.S. Secret Service study. Number one, we have got to give kids permission, and we've got to encourage them to come forward when they know that someone else is in trouble, when they know that Johnny's brought a knife to school or may bring a weapon to school. We've got to provide an anonymous reporting mechanism somewhere in the school, an outside texting service, a snap box, students needing assistance pronto, a box where kids can slip a note and say, "I'm worried about Maria." This is something that we can all be doing right now. This is number two, training students to be upstanders instead of the silent bystanders. We have to teach them what to say, what actions can they do to help someone that they see is being hurt. We need to be teaching our kids what is and what is not bullying. There needs to be more training for every stakeholder in the school, and that's not only the students, that's the staff and the parents. All of us need to be talking about bullying prevention, and all of our kids and parents and staff need to know who to report an incident to. Number three, to intentionally focus on developing and building meaningful relationships within the school and community. And to the federal government, I am asking for a balance. If you choose to mandate new security measures and you want compliance with this, please consider also asking the schools to be compliant about adopting and adding more prevention measures. I think we need both prevention and intervention to make a difference in our school community and to end school violence. Right now, we need more funds for mental health services, for mental health counselors. We need to be doing more social emotional learning. We need funds for curriculum. All of these are so important. We also need funds for training, more bullying prevention training, not only for the students again, but for the staff and for the parents and for any community volunteers. Lastly, as a nation, we all need to come together to put a stop to the mean and cruel behaviors that are happening in our culture. The belittling of each other, the intimidation, the lack of respect for people who are different from us. These behaviors erode our culture. Let's get back to the basics. School violence is not just a school issue. It's a society issue. It's an issue in our culture. How do we change this? We all have a responsibility. And we can make changes by every day modeling common courtesy, respect, tolerance, love, and empathy. And the next time you're in Starbucks and you order a double frappuccino and you find out that you were given the wrong drink, instead of berating the person who helped you, why not pause and show tolerance and empathy? Remember, our kids are watching. They do what we do. This video is not meant to pass blame, to judge any entity. I know that there are a few cases when the schools did everything humanly possible to prevent a school shooting. And to our Santa Fe community, I offer my heartfelt condolences. I hurt for you. I pray for you. And I know that nothing I can say can take away the pain. This is for you, the person who's watching this video right now. I have a challenge. I would like for you to turn up the volume of your internal caring detector. What does this look like? How do we get back to a culture who loves one another? A culture that respects the differences. A culture that really listens to each other. You can contact me by visiting my website, bullyingexpert.com.